Hi guys, first introducing myself, I'm Sierra, and I just want to ask you, what's the number one thing that's happening right now? Okay, I bet you guessed it, the coronavirus. As we know, the coronavirus is bringing deaths, sadness, everything that could be going wrong, it seems like it is going wrong. Although, I'm gonna brighten the spirit with my presentation and hopefully make things seem a little less worse. Due to everybody staying home, not driving their cars as much, factories closing, stores closing, carbon emissions are going down 25% according to New York Times. That's amazing, but it's terrible that had to happen due to a pandemic and people staying in instead of going out and enjoying the outdoors. As you guys know, climate change causes global warming, and global warming is not a good thing. It causes so many bad things that is going to interfere with our lives now and in the future. Climate change is when greenhouse gases are trapped in our atmosphere. And why is this a problem? It's doing a bunch of damage to our Earth right now. Some of those being that glaciers are melting, causing sea levels to rise, which then lead to flooding. Along with that, all the other natural disasters like hurricanes and tornadoes are also being more occurrent and being more dramatic and drastic, causing more and more damage. It's getting hotter in some places and colder in some places. The places that it's getting hotter, they're getting droughts and heat waves, which are causing fires, which we've seen crazy fires in places like Australia and California. NASA goes into depth on all those, but along with that, pollution, although it's not a natural disaster, it's obvious that it's in the air and that it's causing problems with breathing, and that's why people in places like Hong Kong have to wear those masks. Okay, so now that we're done talking about stuff that's negative, let's talk about stuff that's positive. So due to us staying in, driving less, stores closing, factories closing, and all these other things that are happening right now, our environment is recovering from all the damage that has endured in the last few decades. There are some things that we've never seen before, like the Venice canals. They're clear. You can see fish. There's even dolphins coming up around in the Venice canals that has never happened before. Big cities like New York City, LA, and Chicago, places known for pollution, are clearing up, and the pollution is not that bad anymore. Also, according to New York Times, Hong Kong, like I previously noted, that they had wearing masks for the pollution, they're seeing clear skies that they haven't seen in decades. Through this picture of Hong Kong, you can see on the left side clear skies, and that's what it currently looks like. While on the right side, you can see the pollution, and this was before a stay-at-home order was set. And just like you might guess, when the coronavirus starts clearing up and people start going back outside, factories start opening again, all these things that helped make those things happen, like I previously stated, are gonna reverse, and Hong Kong is gonna look smoggy again. The Venice canals will not be clear anymore, and LA, New York, and Chicago will be polluted again. And although according to NASA, we can't reverse what we've done to this planet, the global warming that has happened, we can lessen it and make changes that will help us in the future. And that's why I wanted to do this topic, to spread awareness on what we can do to help the planet even after this pandemic is over and everything goes back to normal. And what might be surprising to you is the average person annually uses up to 20 metric tons of carbon emissions and lets it off into the air. So obviously we all make a huge difference on heating up this planet in a bad way. So although you can look up a ton of different things that you can do to help, easy things like changing a light bulb, I am also going to help give you a list of a few things. So some basic things that you might have already heard of is to drive less. So that might mean carpooling, walking, or riding your bike. Shop secondhand, so instead of shopping at big corporate places like Walmart, shop at thrift stores instead. Since the piece of clothing is already made, it's not doing any more damage to the earth like it would be if you were to buy something new. By doing this, you're recycling a piece of clothing that has already had use, and you're giving it so much more use instead of buying something new and supporting factories that make mass production. The NRDC also suggests that you get more efficient light bulbs as well as more efficient appliances. Another thing that you can do is start recycling. By recycling, like I said, with the clothing, it's being recycled and getting multiple uses instead of being sent off to landfills. And not only is it being sent off to landfills, it's also being set out into our oceans. And when it makes its way in the ocean, it's killing sea life and it's ruining coral reefs. Solar power is another thing that could really help, and it could save you money in the long run. Now, one of the main contributors to carbon emissions being let off into the air is
methane.
And what causes it?
Methane.
Cows. Released from cows from either farting or burping. So one of the main things that scientists recommend is to eat less meat. By eating less meat, you're not contributing to that, and you're lessening your intake, so you're lessening your carbon footprint. And hopefully in the long run, if business goes down, then cows won't be born just so they could die for us just to eat them. Okay, that's it for today. Go out, go make a change. Go change your light bulb to a more efficient light bulb, or just go start recycling. Anything you can do will help. Thanks for your time.